Hey guys, welcome back to Fallout 76. Today I'm back bringing you another guide video, and this video is going to feature some lower level legendary farming locations as well as some higher level ones as well. But people were asking in the lower level grinding video that I made to showcase some of the legendary locations that you can go and farm, and so I thought I'd make a video about it. There's a couple really good locations that will give you decent repeatable rewards as many times as you can do it, and so I thought we would talk about those specifically, mainly events and maybe some other things. So let's go ahead, let's load in the action. Let me know what you guys think of the video, if you guys are still liking the series, if you guys are subscribed to the channel or not. I just love to hear your thoughts about things. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Okay, so the first event that we'll talk about is an event called Leader of the Pack, and this is in the forest area near the Ferris wheel, and basically you have to hunt low-level wolf packs. And so this is a lower-level event, and the reason why I'm starting with this is because in the low-level grinding video, people were asking, hey, like, you know, where can I go to get good weapons? Well, this is probably your best bet because they're not that high of level wolves, and you should be able to take them out, and it can help you when you first start out in the game to come and do this event because you have the possibility of getting 3 legendary items from the different, like, leaders in the different packs. And so basically you know, you can get some nice weapons or armor or things like that, and it can help you out early level. And so this is not a high level area to go to. This is not for higher level players. This is for low level players, and this is going to give you a nice little, like, kind of a head start in terms of items and maybe armor, because you usually generally get a lot of armor, but you can also get some weapons as well. And so in my opinion, this is a great place to come to if you're new to the game. Do this event, and you should get some decent stuff starting out. Alright, so the next place we're going to talk about is any place that has a horde event. And so you'll see from time to time all over the map, there will be these events that pop up there called whatever horde, and if you click on it, you'll be able to see like what it is. And basically, the horde events will always have one legendary boss with them, essentially, and one legendary mob, and so you can always be guaranteed that you're going to get one legendary item from these events. Now the thing is that depending on where the event is will dictate the level of the legendary item and the mobs that are there. And so obviously there's some areas that are going to be lower and then some areas that are going to be higher. And so generally the ones that I always look for is like the ash heap area and then the east side of the map. And so any other ones, they're going to be, you know, kind of random. Some places will be lower. And so it's you know, depending on the level, you can kind of dictate like, hey, this one in this location is going to be good to go to because, you know, it's going to be more suited to my level. So horde events are great for at least one legendary item, and the legendary enemies that can be with the event can be anything from a 1-star to a 3-star enemy, and so you could get some pretty decent stuff. Alright, so there's a couple different locations that we're going to go to. First up, the one that I think a lot of people know about already is Sugar Grove, which is located right here on the map, this area right here. So, you know, Harper's Ferry is right here. This is where Sugar Grove is. And in Sugar Grove, this is like an amazing place to loot springs, clipboards, you know, fans, things like that. And basically, if you just look everywhere, there's things that you can loot that are going to be good to grab for resources. Then not only that, but most of the time there is a legendary enemy in here, or legendary enemies, and so you could find some pretty good stuff in terms of legendaries in here as well. So just make your way inside. I don't need any more springs or anything, so I'm not even going to bother getting that. There's going to be tons of robots in here. You know, depending on your level, you might have a hard time or whatever, but when you kind of get in, you're going to encounter a bunch of different things, and it doesn't seem as big once you have something like what I have, but you can still get some good experience and stuff through this area. So it's not like, I feel like it's a decent place to come to get experience depending on your level, but at the same time, like, you can kind of exhaust it pretty quickly. But like I said, Sugar Grove is a pretty good area for getting materials and stuff. You're not always going to find a legendary. This time a Crown of Saltron spawned for me down in here, but basically down in this room is where you're going to generally come across the legendary, and then you can just come back here multiple times. So this was the crowned one this time, and so Sugar Grove is a really good location to come to for resources and things like that. And I think most people know that already, but I just wanted to bring it up in the video in case you didn't know. So here at while I'm in the middle of doing this Liberator Horde event at the WestTech Research Center, there is a potential of having a legendary super mutant spawn. And this one was a 3-star one that I just killed, and he's got not a whole lot of stuff on him, unfortunately, but the fact that you can find one here is a pretty good thing to know in case you're looking for, and obviously you're not always going to find a legendary here. It's definitely worth checking out and coming to this location too to see if there is one at this location, and then obviously you can come back as many times as you want to your heart's extent, and so just a place to keep in mind. All right, so the next event that will pop up occasionally is called AWOL Armaments, and this is at the Robco Research Center, and there are generally 1 or 2 Mr. Gutsies that will be legendary, and they scale to level, obviously. And then after it's over, you can go into the facility, and there's usually another enemy inside as well. So you just have to defend against waves of enemies, essentially. And to start it, you have to report to Sergeant Gutsy. All right, so once he's finally done yammering on 8 years later, you go activate the button, and then you'll have to defend against waves of the Gutsies that will come. There'll be a bunch of them that will show up. This place is not only great for legendaries that can come, but also for tons and tons of scrap and fusion cells and things like that. And so it's definitely worth doing this event. The only thing is that this event seems very, very rare. And if it's not rare, and I think they're they're all RNG based, but I have seen this thing only a handful of times, and it is not something that I think shows up a lot. And so whenever it does show up, I would definitely recommend doing it because they're going to be decent stuff, and they scale to level. And so definitely just do it, check all of them, and then you'll have the chance of, like I said, getting 1 or 2 of them to be a legendary. All right, so the next event that we're going to talk about is One Violent Night. Make a lot of noise to lure a deadly creature to the Buck's Den beer house and then defeat it. All right, so it's at the Sons of Dane compound, and basically you just need to play some music, and it'll lure a legendary Wendigo here, and it scales the level. It's a pretty easy thing to do. All right, so if you're in power armor, you have to get out of it in order to play. And then also there's a jukebox there that can be repaired, and it's kind of nice because that'll distract them. And so if you're sitting here playing music, I'm freaking naked. Sorry about that. But yeah, you'll have to play music, and luckily the jukebox will attract ghouls that come, and so it's kind of nice that you don't have to worry about things necessarily attacking you straight up. But then obviously at the bottom there you have that the bar that fills up as you play, and so you just got to make enough noise and do it within the time limit to attract the Wendigo. Defeat it barehanded if you want to, but I'm just gonna go ahead and kill it. There we go. So yeah, it's can be kind of difficult, especially if you have to manage when you're not in power armor and stuff, like me. Okay, so let's see. Plus 30% damage to Scorch. That's kind of nice. Nice black powder rifle there. So there you go. I haven't actually done this since I was a lower level, and so it's kind of cool to do it now that I'm a little higher and see what it's like with the enemies that are scaling. And it's also nice to know that almost every single one of these ghouls that popped up was a crowned one, and so I got some pretty good loot from those as well, which is quite nice. Look at all this. Yeah, you can get pretty geared out doing this event. That's nice. Okay, so the next place we're going to talk about is Uranium Fever. Now, I know a lot of higher level players already know about this, but this video is for people who might not know about these different events. And so
Uranium Fever, new players, is a place where there is a guaranteed chance to find 3 legendary mobs. It's one of the best events for legendary items in game. And basically what happens here is an event will pop up at Blackwater Mine near White Spring, and all these different mole miners will come to attack these uranium extractors. And there will be a time within the event where a fired management personnel will show up, a legendary mob, and they have the chance of dropping some really good stuff. And so Uranium Fever, like I said, is one of the best events in game to come to for legendary items, as you are guaranteed to have 3 things show up, and most of the time they are actually relatively decent items. So I'm not gonna spend more time on this because I've belabored this point in past videos, but Uranium Fever, great place to come to. Definitely check it out if you guys are looking for some nice legendary items.
Okay, another place that I wanted to mention, and it's not necessarily a legendary, it's a crown, but the cool thing is like, if you guys don't know, the municipal center here, right down here, this area, after you do the mayor quest, has the ability to give you a chest full of stimpaks. Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 11. It's a great place to come and server hop and grind over and over again to get those stimpaks. But also at the top here, there is always, every single time I've ever been here, there is always a crown scorch that has a grenade launcher and grenades. And so if you're like me and you're saving up your nades to use eventually someday, then this is a great place to come to get some. So basically you just come all the way up the stairs, and so it's not necessarily legendary, but here he is right here. Every single time that I've killed him, he always has grenades. Every time. And so grenade launcher, pipe pistol, whatever, there's some stuff that he always has. And then just make your way up to the top floor. He's usually up here in this area, but then just make your way up to the top area, go inside and get your stimpaks. It's just a great thing to do. Watoga is really good. And then also the next place we'll go to is the emergency services, as there's almost every single time I've been there has had a legendary enemy as well. And so that'll be the next place that we'll go to and stuff. So here's the safe. Get your stim packs. You can get your blood packs if you want or whatever. And yeah, so this is another really good place to come, especially if you're looking for specific ammo like grenades or something. Another good place to go to is the emergency services. This is a good spot to loot for medical items as well as a legendary enemy. And basically, it's not as big, it's not that big of an area, and you can do it pretty quickly, but just make your way through. There's going to be, this guy's going to give you a quest you can do. So just make your way to this area right here, and here's the legendary right here, Super Mutant Warlord. So it wasn't anything too great, but it should give me something. So generally, I mean, it's not that big of an area. It's pretty easy to make your way through here and get everything you need to get, and then you can just make your way back outside, do the mission if you want to, whatever, loot for medical supplies. I mean, you're gonna find that this is a decent location for loot as well. So before you leave Watoga, there's another important thing to know, and that is to check the streets. Generally, right down here by the shopping plaza, there'll be like 1, 2, or 3 legendary Protectrons walking around, and just keep in mind that depending on what it is, it can blow up and it can kill you, like it just killed me. And so it's an important thing to keep in mind. So there's gonna be like right down here, basically there's gonna be a couple of them, and so just kind of check around the streets and look for them. They're usually like a darker gray color, and but there can be things just kind of all over the place, but this is generally where I found that they're at. And so yeah, just come down here right by the shopping plaza and check this area. They're not going to be, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen like a multi-starred one, but you can generally get some decent stuff from them. So yeah, worth checking that out too. Alright guys, well that's it for the video. I hope it helped. I know it can seem it might have seemed like it was a little disorganized, but I do hope that it helped you in some way or another. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today and checking the video out. I appreciate all the support that you guys have left on the channel lately. It's really awesome to see how much people are supporting my channel when I do the Fallout 76 videos, and so I just want to thank you. I hope you guys are having a great day. Things are going well. See you guys in the next one.